Hey guys, welcome back to week 2 of the Trading Combine series. So this week I did learn from a lot of the mistakes that I made, and I will say I did make quite a lot of stupid mistakes this week, but I did learn a lot from them, so I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And yeah, I wanted to thank you guys for the feedback and the support you guys showed in the previous video as well. Honestly, I thought the video would get like 20 views or something if I was lucky, so getting so many views was honestly amazing, and I wanted to thank you all for it. I've changed a little bit of the video this week, like the duration. I did cut down quite a bit, so it's more straight to the point, which I know you guys wanted. And I also got the script laid out, so yeah. I'll see how you guys like it this week, and I'll be looking forward to your guys' feedback again this week. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. So yeah, so let's just get straight into this week's trades. Alright, so for on Monday, I was expecting price to drop down to lower to the 15-minute fair value gaps down here, since price had swept out a high time frame high on the high time frame. Yeah, and price was also within this 4-hour order block and 1-hour order block here. That's why I was expecting price to drop down here, because on the 15-minute and 1-hour, price had actually not formed above the 4-hour. It actually wicked above it and then came down. There was quite a bit of news today at 1:45 and 2 a.m. 2 a.m. having higher impact, so I was waiting until after 2 a.m. to take a trade. I did make a mistake today, which was taking a trade on NQ instead of MNQ. And since I have a set risk amount, my sizing on NQ was very small, so it got stopped out pretty much instantly, and I took a loss of 300. I then went to the proper pair on MNQ and then took the original trade I was going to take, so using the 1-minute fair value gap within this 3-minute order block and 5-minute order block. So it would have been around the bottom of this 3-minute order block here. I entered and I took partials around the 15-minute. Another mistake I made here was that I should have taken out the majority, if not all, of my position at this 15-minute. So I feel like I should have taken partials or full profit around this 15-minute. Secures profit, right? And the risk to reward, honestly, on this trade would have been perfectly fine. I would have been happy with this, but my mistake was focusing on trying to earn back the money I lost from NQ, and I shouldn't have done that, because the goal right now is to take clean and proper trades and secure profits. To achieve that, there's like no real need to overdo it and take trades with very high RR. So this was something that I can also improve on in the future. Alright, so for today I was expecting price to drop down to the 4-hour fair value gap here, and also to the 4-hour plus 1-hour fair value gap overlap down here. And that did happen during the pre-market, and that was what I was looking for at the start. I saw this entry here, and I used equilibrium initially, and what happened was that I had my entry at the overlap higher up, so over here I wanted a better entry, so I was more ambitious with it, and that level ended up not being hit, and so I ended up missing my entry. And then price came all the way down to the 4-hour plus 1-hour fair value gap and then rose bullish. I didn't enter for the bullish trade, even though I knew it was going to happen. I didn't want to deal with the volatility from market open and then also news, so I just avoided that in general. And from news, price came up and swept out the all-time high, so I decided to look for shorts again, and price ended up stalling for a while before pushing down. I ended up missing another entry here, where I stopped looking at the charts. I started slacking here pretty much. I was looking at the so after news hit, price swept out the all-time high, and I was looking for a short down to this 15-minute. Technically this is a BPR, so that's what I was looking for. I was looking at the entry on the 5-minute and 3-minute, since those time frames are a bit better than the 1-minute time frame in my opinion. It's the low time frame, but it's not too weak where the confluences are pretty redundant either if they're by themselves. But what happened was that on the 1-minute, price ended up using the imbalance already on the 1-minute, so later on it ended up not being used when I wanted to enter. So that caused me to miss out on my entry. And yeah, overall I think today was alright. I read the charts right, I just didn't enter because I didn't see any clean entries except for the first trade, where I didn't notice that price already used the imbalance I was basing my entry off of on the 1 minute. I am glad that my intuition has improved quite a bit, where I can tell that it swept out all-time high, so now it's gonna go down, and it's like it seems pretty simple, but it's like I'm glad that I can kind of read the charts without having to use any like imbalances in general. Alright, so for today I was expecting price to drop down to this 1 hour fair value gap here. Since price just swept out a prominent high on the daily, I was expecting a reversal down to the 1 hour fair value gap. Price was also at an all-time high right now, so I really wanted to see some shorts instead of longs. There was quite a lot of news today. I waited until 2 AM after this red folder since this one had particularly high impact in my opinion. There's also Powell speaking at 5:45 AM, so I wanted to get the trade done by the PM session because I was expecting volume to die out pretty quickly after this red folder hit. So I ended up getting stopped out today for a loss of $150. My mistake was not lowering my sizing, especially during this time where it was at an all-time high. I waited for news to pass, and after I did, I saw the 5-minute fair value gap and 3-minute fair value gap. Price on the 1 minute had broken through, though it was very slightly for the 3-minute before it came up, and what I was expecting was I had my entry around here at the 1 minute order block, since that was the max I was expecting price to retrace to before it pushed down to the lower imbalances. And what I didn't realize was there was a fake out with LRLs right here, so that caused price to push up. I stopped trading here since I don't want to keep revenge trading, and I was just too hasty today with placing my entry because I didn't wait to see a clean breaker structure of the 5-minute and 3-minute. Most optimally also this 1 hour plus 15-minute order block, and then into a retrace because I was just FOMO-y and too greedy. I based my entry confluence off of a very small time frame with no other overlaps to back it up as well, so it was a particularly weak level. I do know today was a rookie mistake, so I'll be journaling that down and then working to improve that in the future. So yeah, that was my Wednesday trade. Alright, so for today, price action was honestly pretty shit, as you can see here. Like, price was wicking around everywhere. There was news at 12:30 today, so I was waiting for that to pass. It was unemployment claims, so I was thinking that price would have some pretty high impact, but it didn't end up having that much impact. And for my market, since price swept out the all-time high, I was thinking of going for shorts. I had confluences like the 15-minute order block, the 5-minute order block, and 3-minute BPR. 3-minute BPR was just at the bottom of this 3-minute fair value gap here, which I used for my entry. I had my entry placed right around here. Price had disrespected the 15-minute fair value gap, so I wanted to see a retracement into it, which I did. I wanted to wait more and see the respection candle form, and then I'll place my entry after that. And what happened was I placed my limit order just below the newly formed respection candle, and then price wicked it and it started pumping, and then price just chopped around for a while before coming down to hit my TP. And overall today my psychology really took a hit, and I had to reanalyze myself, especially after knowing that my trades after taking partials today like I did was it wasn't as much as like I was even risking, you know, which is pretty bad in my opinion. I really want to strive for like a positive return, and I was thinking that I should stop forcing trades as much, since many of the trades I took recently, such as the one today, feel pretty forced. And if I took the A+ setups like regularly and like just stop forcing trades every day, then taking partials would be more viable as well, because then I'd be taking out a decent amount compared to my risk size. Like today, if I was more patient and noticed that price swept my entry and then pushed up, then I probably wouldn't have even entered this trade. I probably would have just opted out instead of watching price jump back and forth for an hour. I know that it's a mindset transition from paper to funded. It's like me subconsciously thinking that, oh, I can earn all this money, which is affecting the way I think and approach trades. And I really want to apply the way I used to think with paper to my funded account. And yeah, that's why I feel that's why I've been forcing so many trades, and that's something that I need to work on. So overall today I took a win of $122.28. Alright, so for today, Friday was honestly a pretty good trading day. So I started doing this thing recently where I started to track my habits during my trades. So depending on how my emotions are and how I follow my plan, I'll base my wins and losses off of that. Yeah, as you can see, like this week for my mental, it wasn't that great. And yeah, I'm happy with the patience that I showed today. So as you can see, price dropped around for quite a while. I had to wait for around 2 hours for an entry. And after waiting for that, it honestly resulted in a very fast trade that lasted around 6 minutes. And today there was some news, but the majority of the high impact news was during the pre-market, so it wasn't really relevant to me. And there was news at 2 a.m. as well, which managed to push price all the way up to the all-time highs again, which meant that I was going to be looking for shorts tonight. Price dropped around for quite a while, like we can see here. I noticed that price usually likes to chop after the first hour of the market open, and that's why I decided to wait. That's something that I've just noticed throughout the week. So yeah, and I've noticed that price usually likes to pick up around the 3 to 3:30 a.m. mark again. That's why I waited around this time to trade. And I based my entry off of the disrespect of the low time frame imbalances, the 1 minute fair value gap here, 5 minute fair value gap, 15 minute fair value gap, and then a respect of the 1 minute order block here, sorry. And then I took my profits at the 5 minute fair value gap down here. So the reason why I took my profits at a low time frame draw on liquidity today is because I wanted to secure profits. And usually what I do is that I would take my profits at a high time frame draw on liquidity. But what I've noticed is that price usually likes to take out the low time frame draw on liquidity before seeking and destroying, and then afterwards it will come down all the way to the high time frame draw on liquidity. So if I did it how I usually did before, I'd probably have my final take profit at the 1 hour order block, which ended up not getting tapped. And if we really wanted to get in like the nitty gritty of it, I could have improved my take profit quite a bit by putting my take profit at the overlaps with the 5 minute fair value gap here. There were these 1 minute fair value gaps I could have used for an entry, for a take profit. But honestly, I think the 5 minute fair value gap exit was honestly all good. I think it was good for my mental and also for my habit, because I wanted to get into the habit of just securing profits, not over greeding for money, and just taking the opportunities that presents itself to me and taking it fairly without, over leveraging, without over greeding, without just putting too much of my emotions into it. Yeah. So I'm quite happy with how this week turned out, so yeah, I'll move on to the conclusion. Alright, so to end off this week, I ended the week with minus $100, and majority of that came from the NQ trade that I took on Monday. That was a mistake where I entered on the proper pair. So yeah, I ended up losing 300, which was pretty unfortunate, but I feel like it's a kind of event that I have to go through. So I always make sure to check my pairs before I trade. And yeah, I feel like this week, especially at the start of the week, I was forcing a lot of trades. I wanted to take a step back and just reanalyze how I've been taking the trades and my mental, because my psychology has not been the greatest ever since starting the funded account. And I wanted to attempt taking more trades that'll hit my full take profit instead of taking small partials. And yeah, I wanted to be more patient and take trades that'll fully go through, so I would actually get some ROI on the trades I take. Training my mental to detach from the money I trade with is an important lesson, and it is something that I'm working on currently. But for now, I'm attempting to take A+ setups that will hit my full TP, and whether that means I have to be more patient or wait longer, it won't matter. I'll make the changes necessary to improve, and I'll be documenting to see my progress and then seeing what I can improve on more. And I started focusing more on improving my psychology and overall my mentality when I'm taking trades. That's the biggest flaw I can see in my system right now. And yeah, I've made some changes this week, so I'll see if you guys enjoyed this more cut down and more straight to the point video. And I want to thank you guys for the support you guys showed in the previous video. I'm quite happy with how it turned out, and I have listened to you guys' feedback. I got the script, I cut down the video so it's more precise. So yeah, I'll see if you guys enjoy it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode. I'll see you guys next week.